What's going on, guys? Welcome to another JDM Car of the Month video here in Okinawa, Japan. Today I got a special treat for you guys. I actually have a 2-for-1. We're doing 2 cars in one. You'll see here in a second. But let me introduce you guys to Lance. He's the proud owner of this 1996 180 SX Type X. And you guys might be looking at the front of this car and wondering, well, that's not a 180. We'll check it out here in a second. All right, Lance, I know you've had your ups and downs with this car. So this car, actually, do you mind if I tell him the story? Yeah, go for it. So I met Lance. All right, I'm law enforcement out here in the Air Force, and he walked into my unit one night and was like, "Hey, somebody hit and ran on my vehicle," and he was like trying to figure it out and doing all this like investigative work, trying to get camera footage and whatnot. Well, he still has. It's weird because it looks like a completely different car, but it was a silver 180 SX Type X, super clean car, and he got backed in. What was it? The front fender?
Yeah, it was this fender over here. So
you got the bright idea and said, you know what? Instead of replacing the front fender, might as well just do the whole front end, the whole front end. So tell everybody about this car and why you went with the Silvia front end. Actually, before we do so, just so everybody's on the same page, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, 180 back, S13 Silvia front. So for those that don't know, this is a Silvia 180, or dubbed as Sileighty. And I love these cars. I've seen a few out here, pretty rare. I know some guys in the States try to get the front end clips on these and do the Sileighty. Tell them your story, man.
Oh man, whenever you started off with that, I was so mad. I went outside and my whole front end was like, I mean, just this fender right here, it was dented like all the way from here back, because I went to my buddy's house and I just went outside and it was just crinkled like a tin can. I was so mad, dude. And
I felt so bad for you too, man.
Yeah, and I didn't even know like where it was because it was on the passenger side, and I get on the driver's. I don't go around the passenger side, so I just like, that could have happened like 3 different places. I was only like 3 different places that day, so go back, check all the cameras and stuff like that, and that just sucks. So yeah, I found that out, and then I showed up to you. Yeah, so after that, well actually, okay, so to begin even further back, whenever I first got the car, I originally got the car for $7,500, and then the whole interior was just, I mean, it wasn't bad by any means, but it just needed a little bit of restoration.
Yeah.
I need new plastic pieces and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird because a lot of the S-Chassis here, especially in Japan, people just beat the heck out of them, and none of them have like a full interior or anything like that.
Oh, I've seen that firsthand, man. Every time I see a 180, they're always gutted out. I call it clapped out. People are always like, what do you mean clapped out? It means that like these cars were probably owned by
probably clapped cheeks on a wall.
like a teenager or a younger Japanese dude who wanted to take it drifting and did his thing, gutted the interior, and didn't really care about the actual appearance of the car, probably just suspension mods and whatnot. But
so I don't know, I just kind of figured they just, I mean, for weight reduction obviously, but so they can actually fit a roll cage and stuff like that. I mean, just typical reasons for drifty boy stuff. But yeah, I had to redo some of the plastic pieces, but when I first got the car, I did small stuff like oil, trans fluid, diff fluid, plugs, coil packs, just normal maintenance stuff. And then just to like get the car from, it was misfiring really bad, so I fixed that completely and just did all my ignition and fuel stuff like that. So clean the injectors, all this other stuff, and yeah, the whole thing with shebang, the front end, that happened. So I was like, all right, cool, I guess we'll just let's just swap the whole front end. Sweet, man. Well, I mean, it looks good. The paint is midnight purple. Yep, it's not too terribly, it's more midnight than purple. But the paint came out, it didn't really come out the way I wanted it to be. I wish it was more like a brighter purple than, more purple than midnight. But I don't know, my expectations were a little high. So I think it looks good. I really can't complain, honestly. I paid him extra to take every single body panel off, because a lot of paint jobs here in Japan are all like just spray the whole car with like all the fenders, the doors on, everything. So I paid him extra to pull all the bumpers, the side skirts, the doors, the fenders, lights, everything was pulled off.
So I will say, not a lot of cars can pull off purple. Yeah. But a handful of 90s JDM cars definitely can. Obviously the R33. Yeah, the R33 was kind of the frontier of that, if you will, and then the 34, you know, with the MMP 2 and 3. But this car, I think it definitely pulls it off. Yeah. It's kind of a risky move going purple on a car. Yeah, you know what I mean?
But I mean, to me personally, like, it's not too bright purple to where like it sticks out, because it looks more dark than
it doesn't look
purple.
Tacky.
Yeah, and you can't really see it because it's really cloudy out right now, but usually in the daylight, that purple just like the blue and the red, the flake in it just like really pop, and it's just It's really, really pretty.
So this is a 96, meaning it'll be eligible to go back to the States in 2021. How much longer are you out here for?
So I actually had to extend 7 more months out here to take this car back, because it's a 96 of October. So I extended till 96 of November. I extended the extra month just to be
just in case.
Yeah,
just in
I already
case.
knew, like, with the military, some stupid stuff always happens. Like, it's never, it's just a given.
You gotta love it. People extending out here just for their car. That's commitment.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's commitment. People do it all the time, and it's pretty funny. There's other reason to extend out here in Japan, but I mean, if you can take your car back without any issues, why not? And a lot of people that watch my videos are always asking me, like, okay, you know, like, what's the rules, this and that, like, how much does it cost? I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you do not have a car in storage and you get here, you get the entitlement on your orders, and then when you do leave, it gets paid for by Uncle Sam on the government's dime, and they'll put it on a boat and ship it to the port, the nearest port of your home of record or your next assignment. So not a bad deal at all.
No.
So we got the front end, the origin body kit. I see you got the roof spoiler, carbon door sills. What kind of wheels are you rocking?
Honestly, those just came on the car, man. If I knew, I'd tell you. I don't even know what those are. I know they're still 4-lug, and I hate that about it.
Yeah, hey, I'm rocking 4 lugs. Don't worry, man. Yeah. Don't worry.
Although, eventually one day, I do want to get some Workmeister M1s.
Okay.
But that's whenever I want to actually put, like, wider fenders, over fenders, and stuff like that, so I can actually put a deeper dish on it.
You got the kooky tails.
Yeah.
I'm always team OG tails on the 180s.
I was watching your videos the other day, and I was like...
But everybody loves the kooky tails.
The orange 180 SX over there, you're like, man, these kooky tails are really growing on me.
Yeah,
I got those, yeah.
I love the retro look of the OG tails.
Yeah.
I love 300ZXs or Z32s. I just love that, like, that, I don't know, it looks something out of, like, Blade Runner.
I don't know. These are more of like a Skyline kind of look to me. I mean, people just don't really like these because they look more of like a Skyline. They like the whole, like, shebang where it's just flat and it just looks more like, I don't know.
Kind of like the NSX and
exactly.
Z32 and all the other cars that had the, even like the Mark IIs.
Yeah, I was about to say the Mark IIs and stuff.
Taillights that go all the way across the back. Man, car looks really good. I'm really excited. I'm actually leaving. I got my official fly out date. It is currently Sunday here, and I'm flying out this Friday, guys. So I'm trying to get as much content for you as possible, and I bumped into Lance yesterday at the gas station, and I was like, dude, I want to feature a Sileighty, and I know you've been putting a lot of work into it, so let me show the world this car.
Only so much of the work so far. I've literally had this car for probably 8 months.
Yeah. Oh, every time I see it, it's just, it's always changing. So I'm digging it, man. Keep up the good work on it. Front mount intercooler. So I know you got some other stuff done to the hood. If you want to give it a pop. So we actually went cruising last night and got some roller shots. If you guys follow me on Instagram, posted a few of those up there. And if you want to go check him out, I'll put his information down in the description below. But we got some rollers. Dude, it looks good.
The first mod I did was the front mount, and that took a while to put on. But other than that,
how easy is it to work on an SR20?
Oh my gosh, dude. If I could tell you, if I ever get my kids a sports car, it's going to be a 240.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 240 because I've never had any mechanical experience till I got here on working on cars and stuff. And I've done everything myself on this car. I mean, except for the body work, but everything on this car, like, especially over here, you know how the black manifold, I had to take all that off because one day my car went into limp mode and I thought it was a NOx sensor. And so the NOx sensor is all the way down there, like on the side of the block. So I had to pull half of the block off, and I had to take the manifold off, everything. Like, it was just a whole fiasco, like wires going everywhere. So
dude, I mean, it looks just as easy, if not easier, than actually working on the 4G63, because this is transverse compared to, you know, it's like an inline 4, if you will, compared to, I mean, they're all inline 4s, I guess, but but you have the turbo manifold, intake manifold. It's kind of like the RB26, just, you know, you can work on both sides compared to the 4G where the manifold's on the backside. It's a little tight back there.
Yeah.
But definitely clean, man. I like the purple valve cover.
Yeah, that was an impulse buy. That was an
can.
impulse buy. That was a GK Tech. I bought that off my buddy for like $40. Now it's $30 at B&M. So I was like, man, 30, 40 bucks.
Hey,
like,
you can't beat it. You can't beat it. And that's one thing I'm envious of. SR20s are pretty easy to come by because they were put in so many S-Chassis. Yeah. Unfortunately, my 4G63 was only put in the Evo 1, 2, and 3 and a few other cars. So finding parts for my car is a pain in the butt. And every time I go to Up Garage, when I had my GTR, B&M, I went and got a test pipe, no problem. I got my Nismo strut bar there, no problem. Like, Nissan is king, or Nissan for the guys across the pond out there, is king here in Japan. The Toyota boys are gonna be like, nah, it's Toyota, but there's so much Nissan stuff out here. You can find anything and everything. And that's one thing I'm envious of and I do miss. Oh man, well, you want to get an engine started for the boys?
Yeah, dude. She's not too loud. Sounds like an SR.
Yeah.
So it's 3-inch from turbo elbow. Turbo elbow is stock, but it's 3-inch downpipe and then test pipe and then just a small muffler. But
sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, it sounds beefy for a 4-cylinder. That's one thing about the SRs. They definitely sound beefy.
Yeah, I agree. And one bad thing about whenever I had this body kit put on was the guy didn't like realign the muffler. It's just I didn't expect him to anyways. Like I said, my expectations were a little too high, but I mean, he still did a good job, but you can see like the exhaust is so hot, it just kind of like, you can see that discoloration right there. The
just a little bit.
The heat.
Sounds good. I can hear the turbo spooling down too after the fact. Yeah, it's nice.
That's one of my favorite parts, especially when the AC's on, you can really get it.
So he's got some insane turbo flutter on this. I heard it yesterday. It kind of threw me off.
It's just a stock turbo too. It's just the T25 that came on.
Okay. Everybody's probably like just geeking out right now. Like, oh, turbo noises. Cool, man. You want to go for a little ride?
Yeah.
Sure, everybody wants to see this thing in action. And if you guys haven't noticed, there's like a freaking typhoon offshore right now. So we're definitely getting some rain later today. Ugh. No, it's actually my first time riding in an S-Chassis.
Oh, really?
Ever. A lot of firsts for me lately. First time in an A86.
Yeah.
First time in an S-Chassis. I'm trying to feature an NSX for you guys maybe later today, but I've ridden an NSX before when I was like 13.
Yeah.
Look at all the little patches you got up here.
Oh, thanks.
Sounds good. Pretty throaty.
Yeah.
Does not sound like a 4-cylinder, I will say that much. So the SR came in, I know, like the later model S13s, the 180s.
Yep, so...
The S14 and the S15?
Yep, and the S14 and 15 are the notchbacks. Those have the VCT on them.
Is that the red tops? Or the black
no,
tops?
So the 13 and the 180SX, the specific year came with the red tops and the S13 Silvia. And then in the 180s, the later years, they came in red tops.
Okay.
So,
like I always say, I'm not the expert. I know a little bit about a lot of things. So I have enough to like BS a conversation.
Yeah, if you own the car, then you probably know more about it. Like, I can tell you a Mustang, I'm just going to know more things about a Mustang, the history of a Mustang than...
I've owned a Mustang. I can talk a little bit about a Mustang. But Evos, don't get me started on Evos.
I can't even tell you anything about Evos. So,
they all have big wings.
Yeah, we got big wings.
A little scenic pit stop. Trying to get a pull for you guys, but it is raining and the roads do get a little slick out here, so we'll see what we can get. Oh yeah. Hey, she pulled pretty good though, but yeah, too much boost.
Way too much boost.
Hey, I can feel the power though. Yeah, just spinning in third. No bueno on a rear-wheel drive car.
No.
Nah.
Especially I just got done spending $8,000 on paint.
Yeah, absolutely. This car doesn't have traction control either, I take it. And none of the old like 90s cars had traction control. Oh, AC feels good, smells good. It's another thing. A lot of like a lot of old Japanese cars though have funky smells. I don't know if you've been in any that smell like they were smoked in forever. It was.
Yeah, that's how this car was.
And it's always a battle to try to get rid of the smells. No matter how many air fresheners you put in. It sounds good though, man. That turbo flutter.
Yeah.
I'd burn through so much gas. I would just sit there all day.
Yeah, me and my friends will be like pulling up next to each other, and he'll like do a pull right next to me, and his hood is like right next to my door, so all you can hear is this, and I'll pull up and you'll hear it, and we'll just we're just being young dumb kids.
Yeah, I put a loud ass blow off valve on my car.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday when we were cruising.
I'm 30. Like, you know what? I need a blow off valve, just because. Yeah. All right, guys. So it is raining out right now, and I was just gonna finish the video up. Normally, do it outside. One last little look at the car, but it is what it is. It's Okinawa, and at least we got a little bit in for you guys before it did start raining. But Lance, really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bro.
Thanks for taking the time. Sorry we couldn't get like a really solid pull, but if you want to see more of his car, if you have any questions about Sileighty and maybe like the cost and everything that went into it, definitely go follow him. Instagram, is that the best way?
Yeah, that's probably the only social media I really
okay.
get on. So
there you go. IG, yeah. I'll post that down below. What is it though?
Fuchsia S13 build. This is my car, Fuchsia.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll put it down below just for spelling purposes and whatnot. Definitely hit him up, follow him, and then hit him up with any questions you guys might have. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and go follow me on Instagram at Captain26 if you want to see more of Japan. However, like I said, I am leaving very soon. I'm gonna try to get a few more videos for you guys before I do leave. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Don't hold me to it, but I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later.